Going Ape in Mid-America by Silva Keshishian. Come fly with me to a small town in Mid-America, Perrysburg, Ohio. Down by the alley, surrounded by fruit trees and hydrangeas, was a little house. In it lived an army veteran named Tim, with his wife Rennis, a recently retired pastry chef. On the other side of the house lived two of Tim's sisters, Cindy and Betsy. Soon, Rennis's brother Trent and one of Tim's sisters, Terry, would come along. And maybe some of Rennis and Tim's friends will pop in too. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It was a quiet day. Rennis had just finished making a batch of buttercream using Gilbert, her mixer. On the wall was a cuckoo clock that didn't cuckoo. Rennis had named him Uncle Gunther because he was German and for no other reason. One day she would get around to finding out what made the little birdie lose his voice. But today was not that day. Rennis Garner was frosting cupcakes when the news broke. She wasn't watching the news, mind you. Rennis never watched the news. That required turning on a television, which meant inviting the world's problems into her kitchen. Instead, she learned about the global catastrophes the same way as she learned about everything else, by having Cindy burst into the room like a human emergency siren. She heard two quick knocks on the living room door before it flew open. It was Cindy. "I just read in the New York Times." Rennis did not look up. Her spatula moved in slow, perfect circles. Cindy barreled in anyway. "An orangutan escaped from the Bronx Zoo." "A what?" "An orangutan," Cindy repeated, "named Bubbles." From the recliner, Tim raised his head. "Is this domestic or foreign?" he asked. "I don't know, but if it's domestic, Tim, will you join the hunt to find it? Or if it's foreign, will you join me in writing a petition that it be sent back home?" Tim stared at his sister. "All of the above," he shouted. Rennis set the spatula down carefully. "Oh, bless his little heart," she said. "That poor baby must be terrified." Cindy squinted at her phone. "It says he was last seen here in this town, near a bakery." Rennis gasped. Her pupils dilated. Her hands slowly clenched. "A bakery?" Tim leaned forward. "Could he be dangerous?" Just then, Bob walked in, wearing a big blue coat. "Well," joked Bob, "he once stole 3 pounds of bananas." Tim nodded gravely. "If they ever catch it, they'll probably have it put down." Within 10 minutes, Rennis had convinced herself of 2 things. 1. Bubbles was hungry. 2. If anyone could lure an orangutan to safety, it was a retired Manhattan pastry chef with a spiritual connection to buttercream. By the time Fifi arrived, unannounced and singing some random Armenian folk song, Rennis already had 6 piping bags filled, 2 trays of croissants proofing, and a handwritten sign that read, "Free pastries, please do not panic." Fifi stopped mid-song. "Why does your kitchen look like Martha Stewart had a nervous breakdown?" she asked. "There's a loose orangutan," Rennis said calmly. Fifi clapped. "Oh, I love America!" Bob walked out of the kitchen carrying a large bowl of French onion soup. "So are we really going to go looking for a missing monkey?" he asked. "Orangutan," Rennis corrected, "and he's probably scared and possibly craving laminated dough." Bob chuckled while muttering to himself. Meanwhile, Fifi plopped down on a sofa. Tucking a strand of hair behind her ear, she said nervously, "Hey, listen, Rennis, Tim, I hope you don't mind, but I brought someone with me." Hardly had she spoken the words when in walked an Indian man wearing a turban, long tunic, and baggy pants. His shoes curved upwards at the end, and as he looked from shocked face to face, grinning, "Hello, everybody! It's me!" Tim stood to his feet, slightly defensively. "And who might you be?" he boomed. Rennis spoke quietly. Tim, this is Silver's friend Rajiv. Tim cupped his hand to his ear. Huh? What's that? Rennis responded louder. It's Silver's friend Rajiv. Tim took a step back, surprise filling his face as he looked away. I thought Rajiv was just a figment of Fifi's imagination. Rajiv walked up to Tim and grinned again. Oh, nonny, he said. I am very much being a real person. Then he immediately positioned himself in front of Rennis's spice rack. Cindy looked at Rajiv suspiciously. What made you come here? Rajiv turned to her and said, Monkey business. Now it was Cindy's turn to cup her hand to her ear. What you say? I said it's monkey business. Fifi smiled and stood in front of him and said, What Rajiv means is that he's here to help us find the missing orangutan. Yes, agreed Rajiv enthusiastically. And because of my superior knowledge of the inhabitants of the Bronx Zoo of wild and amazing animals, I have already been searching the neighbors' houses. From upstairs there came a faint but familiar, Rajiv, why are you always going everywhere? Shut up, you stupid woman. Can't you see that I'm busy? Rajiv shouted automatically. Just then, Betsy chose that moment to walk into the room. Whose voice was that? She asked nervously. Rennis said, Oh, that voice. It's just Mrs. Rajiv. She lives upstairs. Betsy looked like she was going to faint. But we don't have an upstairs. Terry walked in from the garage, clipboard in hand. Now, don't worry, she said to Betsy. Come and sit on the couch. Betsy sat down slowly, then looked up, fear hooding her eyes as she whispered, Hold on, Brother John. Are orangutans violent? Cindy pointed to a news story on her phone. It says they're gentle. Betsy gasped. That's what they say about goats, she said. Just then, Trent appeared from the hallway holding a flashlight. Mercy, he said. If we're going orangutan hunting, I should bring duct tape. Duct tape? Asked Betsy nervously. Understood, said Terry. I'll coordinate the search. The group split up immediately, without a plan, which Terry wrote down anyway. Rennis insisted on taking Flake because Flake responded well to emotional reassurance. She patted the dashboard. You're a good boy. Flake purred into life. Tim followed in Rommel, which refused to move until Tim whispered, You were a strategic genius, directly into the steering wheel. Fifi, Bob and Trent piled into Terry's SUV, whereas Rajiv walked. No one knew why. Minutes later, they all met up in a downtown parking lot. Looking around, they found their first clue at Buckeye Fresh Market. The deli counter looked violated. A half-eaten cheesecake sat on the floor. Marge, the deli manager, stared into space. It opened the display case, she whispered mechanically, with one finger. Rennis knelt beside the cheesecake. She sniffed. Cream cheese base. Overmixed. She stood. He's heading towards better pastry. Outside they heard singing. No, not Fifi. Lower. Guttural. Rajiv pointed. It's over there! Behind the dumpster sat 100 pounds of orange fur and a pair of mischievous eyes. It was Bubbles. He held a croissant. He looked peaceful. Rennis slowly approached. It's okay, sweetheart, she said. Bubbles looked at her. She held out a macaron. Pistachio. She stared at him in full concentration, Rembot engaged. No blinking, no breathing. Bubbles slowly reached out, took the macaron, sat, chewed, and grinned. That's when the police arrived, and the zoo officials, and chaos arrived. But Bubbles refused to move until Rennis placed the second macaron on her palm. coconut flavour. "God willing, and if the creek don't rise," she whispered, "you're going home." Bubbles took her hand, walked willingly into the transport crate. The crowd applauded. Cindy even announced, "I'm going to tell Harrison Ford about this." Betsy fainted. "Oh, lordy, lordy!" Trent whispered, "Mercy!" And Terry checked off a box on her clipboard. "Understood," she said. Later that night, Rennis sat at her kitchen table, exhausted but happy. Tim kissed her cheek. "You saved a monkey," he said. "Orangutan." "Yes, dear." Rennis smiled. Maybe she couldn't save the whole world, but today she saved one lost soul with pastry, which felt very Parisian. "Oh, bless your heart," she said to no one in particular. And somewhere, Uncle Gunther still did not cuckoo. But Rennis forgave him, because some miracles take time.
At the city's one sunny day, the gate unlocked and swung away. Bubbles the monkey made a break, dreaming big of banana cake. Zookeeper yelled, "Hey, stop that ape!" as Bubbles made his daring escape. It's monkey business, can't you see? Monkey business, wild and free. Monkey business, just for fun. Monkey business on the run. Bakery staff all screamed in fear. Someone stole our pastries here. Crumbs were scattered down the long road. Sugar tracks show where Bubbles strode. Cop cars chased with flashing bright lights, searching hard both day and night. It's monkey business, can't you see? Monkey business, wild and free. Monkey business, just for fun. Monkey business on the run. Behind a dumpster, eyes aglow, Bubbles sat and munched on dough. Eclair, Danish, cream-filled pie, chocolate smeared beneath his eye. That ape smiled and gave a loud cheer. Best day of my whole sweet year. Watch him run. Cheeky monkey, full of fun. Join him now if you dare. Monkey business everywhere. It's monkey business, can't you see? Monkey business, wild and free. Monkey business, just for fun. Monkey business on the run. It's monkey business, can't you see? Monkey business, wild and free. Monkey business, just for fun. Monkey business on the run.